Welcome to Survive and Advance with Kyle Sandy, and with me today is our co-host, probably a moderator if you want to call it that, Ned Case. Ned, we have Elite 8 basketball previews to break down. It's already been a fun first 2 weeks of Georgia high school basketball, but now we get to the nitty-gritty where it really matters, the Elite 8, Final Four up for grabs.
Yeah, we're going to look at 7A. We got a big-time matchup in 7A. The McEachern Indians taking on the Norcross Blue Devils. McEachern coming in, wins over Walton and Westlake in the first two rounds. Got 20 points from Charles Smith in their second-round win. For Norcross coming in 26-3 on the year, wins over Archer and county rival Duluth. 20-10 for the UGA commit Joseph Toppin in their second-round game for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Joseph Toppin's going to have a really big game. He's a guy that flashes at times. He's not always as super dominant as you would like for a Division I player, but he has that athleticism, and he's going to have to use it because he's going to go up against Isaac Okoro. They got that big front line of Babatunde Akimbola, Jared Jones, so there's going to be a lot of size, a lot of Division I talent. I think Isa Muhammad could be a key in this one for Norcross. Didn't play at the beginning of the season, transferred over from Lakeside to Cab. He is now playing, and he is a big body, about 6'9". He is well-built, college body for sure. If he can protect the rim, I think he could really help out a lot. But guard play is going to be very crucial. We have Brandon Boston, who's been very good this year. Dalvin White, an unsung hero for Norcross as well. And then, of course, we have Kyle Sturdivant, the big shot maker. Look for him to take shots down the stretch.
Yeah, Sturdivant is a guy who's had clutch performances all year, and you'd expect as he's getting to the Elite 8, the Final Four, kind of pressure rises. He's really going to step up. For McEachern, 15 points from Brandon Suggs in their second-round game. Secondary scoring is going to continue to be important for the Indians in this matchup.
That's right. Sharif Cooper is going to be the one running the show. He's been so good this year. Stock up with that big-time performance at the City of Palms. Going for over 40 points in a win. So he's been outstanding to pair along with Isaac Okoro. And you just mentioned it, Brandon Suggs going to the bench with Charles Smith arriving. They got some depth there now. They have a lot of playable pieces on the bench. So both of these teams, they have a lot of talent that can come off the bench. But at the end of the day, it's going to be, out of these starters, which stars will shine the brightest.
Quarterfinal, McEachern Indians travel to the Norcross Blue Devils. We'll be back with more 7A coverage. We're going to switch over to the girls' side next with Westlake and Collins Hill.
Welcome back to Survive and Advance. We have some girls coverage to get to in Class 7A, and we got another 1 versus 2 showdown, Ned Case.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming out of Region 2, undefeated in that region, the Westlake Lady Lions. They're traveling to take on Region 6 champion, undefeated Collins Hill, the Lady Eagles, led by head coach Brian Harmon and their star player, his daughter, Bria Harmon.
Yeah, there are a ton of Division I players on that Collins Hill roster. I'll let you touch on them, but they have a lot of size inside, and I think that size could give Westlake a couple fits, but Westlake, they have some talent of their own. Taylor Hosendove is going to Texas Tech. She's a very physical, versatile forward that can play a little bit inside out. Paris Mullins is a big body, a rebounder that can bang inside, and she's going to have to go up against some Georgia players, some North Carolina State players I'll let you get to. And Raven Johnson, she's a freshman that's been inserted into the starting lineup. She has really made this team her own. She is the engine leading the team in assists. So she's the one that's dealing it off to Simone Lett, Anastasia Warren, Shakina Howard. A lot of great options for Westlake, but they're running into a high major program with these Collins Hill girls.
Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned it. Bria Harmon headed to Purdue, only a junior. Last game, beat South Gwinnett in the second round, 75-46. Javin Nicholson, 20 points, 15 rebounds. Her along with Stallworth up front really make tough to guard the post against this Lady Eagles team. Kayla Dixon, Jada Rice heading to NC State. I mean, there's players all over the court for this team. Now, Collins Hill doesn't play a lot of players, maybe only 6 or 7 deep, but their top 6 or 7 are some of the best in the state.
You're not kidding. They got that great size. Nicholson, she is great, but Stallworth was actually the player of the year in Region 6. She is going to Mercer. She can go inside and out. She's got a great 15-foot jump shot, and she can really pepper it. But Catherine Forey is the one to keep an eye on. She can get red hot from deep, and if they have so much focus on those big girls inside, play inside out, you got some open looks from 3, and that could really help Collins Hill in this game.
It's 27-1 Westlake traveling to 25-2 Collins Hill. That is a big-time Elite 8 matchup on the 7A girls side. Up next, we're going to take a look at 6A. We'll start on the boys' side with a preview of Coffee and Langston Hughes.
Survive and Advance is back, and we have some 6A boys coverage to jump into. And Ned Case, let's get right to it.
Hey, we got the Coffee traveling to take on Langston Hughes. Coffee coming in, first round win over Effingham County, second round win 74-70 over Grovetown. Traveling to take on Langston Hughes, obviously Landers Nolly, headliner, not just for Langston Hughes, not just for 6A, but probably for the state of Georgia basketball. They're 24-5 under head coach Rory Welsh, coming in with a second round win over Lanier, 70-57.
Yeah, Langston Hughes, they're one of those teams to beat. When you got the best player in the entire state, you're pretty tough to handle. Landers going to Virginia Tech. We know he can spread the ball out, shoot it from all over the court. Coffee has the athletes to try and slow them down. We'll see if they can do it. Easier said than done. You got guys like Tyler Smith, one of your favorite players inside for Langston Hughes. A big bruiser on the low block that plays above the rim. He's been a great addition. Tyrell Morgan brings some scoring from the outside as well. And if you're looking at Coffee, you probably don't know too much about Coffee. I took the trip down there, 4 hours down south. That is a team loaded with athletes in size. Mackenzie McFadden, a 6'7" lefty inside that can run the floor. Jace Moore just had 37 points in their second round win over Grovetown, 74-70. He was a first team All-State preseason selection. So that is a kid that can really score the ball. Kind of think of a Corey Maggette type. Very physical, can get to the basket, but he can shoot the ball a little bit. You got Marquavius and Jarquavius Jefferson, the two lightning bug point guards, the twins. They are extremely fast, but they're also very well built, so they can play a physical brand. Dalron Donaldson, 6'5", another football player that plays above the rim. So they have a lot of talent there at Coffee. If you're looking at the last rankings of the regular season, Coffee number 6 in the state, and then you have Langston Hughes number 2 in the state. So Coffee, they had a slow start to the season. They had all those football players. I think they ended up losing in the state championship in football, so they had a really deep run. But since the football players have come back, they've only lost maybe 2 or 3 games. They lost to Tift County when I went down there, but I am very high on Coffee, and we get to see if they can really handle their business against a great team, the defending Class 6A state champions, Langston Hughes.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Langston Hughes trying to defend that state championship. Tyler Smith, I love the way he plays. He's only about 6'5", but he plays like he's maybe 6'8", 6'9", battles inside, built like a football player. So I think Langston Hughes is going to continue to need secondary scoring to support Nolly if they want to win this thing again, and I think it's going to be a tough test with Coffee. We'll be back here for Survive and Advance. We're going to take a look on the girls' side as Lovejoy takes on Winder Barrow in 6A.
Survive and Advance is back, and we have a great matchup, number 1 versus number 2 in the state in Class 6A girls. Ned, take it away.
Pair-region winners. Coin flip decided who was going to get the home game. Ended up going to Winder Barrow. So Lovejoy will travel for this game under head coach Cedric King, 29-1 on the year. They've won by almost 25 points in both their first and second round game. The sophomore star guard, Genesis Bryant, really leads this team. I'm sure you'll talk about some of the other super sophomores on this Lovejoy Lady Wildcats team. For Winder Barrow, under head coach Kimberly Guerin, 22-4 coming into this game. Lanier and Creekview, their first 2 round matchups, took care of them pretty easily. Now on to Lovejoy.
Yes, Winder Barrow, a big home game. Olivia Nelson Odota, she is going to UConn. She is an All-American. She is a 5-star, and she's about 6'5". So that is a lot for Lovejoy to handle. But Kayla Brown is 6'1" senior. She's going to have her hands full, but this is going to be a great opportunity for her to prove that she can play at the next level, trying to slow down Olivia Nelson Odota. But you're looking at Anaya Boyd, a 6-foot sophomore wing to go along with Genesis Bryant. I mean, Lovejoy's been one of the best teams in the state. And the entire state, all classifications. So Winder Barrow is going to have to bring it. Latrice Perkins, she is going to College of Charleston. She can really shoot the ball. Shelia Watson, the rest of that roster, a lot of good athletes and some size to pair up with Odoa inside. And Kimberly Guerin, this is her first year on the job, and she inherited a great team. It's a win-now situation, and it's time to win right now if you're the Lady Dogs.
Another championship-type feel in the Elite 8 and 6A. We'll be back 2A coverage on the boys' side right after this.
Our Elite 8 coverage of Survive and Advance ends here with Farrell hosting Glen Hills in Class 2A. Both of these teams won their region, and it's a long trip from Augusta to Atlanta, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see if that travel is any kind of factor for Glen Hills, who comes in to this game with a very nice record, 26-2 on the year, 13-1 in Region 4 out of Class 2A, led by head coach Travis McCray. And they've been dominant in their first 2 round matchups, winning by a combined 50 points over Northeast and Jeff Davis. Now for Farrell on the other side, 20-7, 11-1 out of Region 6. 33-point win over Heard County in the first round. Second round, Elbert County, a little bit tougher, 67-63. They had to grind out that win.
Yeah, Glen Hills was ranked number 1 the entire season in Class 2A before they lost to Laney in that region championship. So they slipped down to number 4 in the state, and Farrell is actually number 1 in the state, but they have 7 losses. But out of those 7 losses, they played teams like Decula, they played teams like Morgan County, Miller Grove. 2A schools don't usually test themselves like that, especially teams that are all freshmen and sophomores like Farrell is. DeAndre Brown, a sophomore, averaging 18 points per game. Cameron Fortson and Robbie Armbruster, who is a freshman, brings some size inside, physicality at about 6'4", 6'5", and Roman's son, the smallest guy on the court, but a great point guard that's averaging over 10 points per game. And they're going up against Glen Hills. I don't know if you know too much against Glen Hills. Probably don't know too much about them. Timmy Sellers inside, 6'8", holds a South Carolina State offer. A big guy that sometimes likes to dribble a lot. He can grab the rebound and start his own fast break. He's very dangerous. Timothy Williamson, he transferred in from Hepzibah. He's a 6'4", wiry wing that's had a great season. Isaiah Bowman transfers in from Westside Augusta, another tough-nosed guard. Eric Farmer, another guard. And then a sophomore, 6'5", that plays above the rim, John Whitehead. So there's going to be a bunch of athletes out here. But again, a lot of these Augusta schools, they just never travel to Atlanta to see these types of teams. So we'll see if that resume is great for Glen Hills with all the wins on that record, but have they seen the type of talent that Farrell has played all throughout the season? I'm not sure. We'll see how it plays out.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Survive and Advance with Kyle Sandy. Hope you guys enjoy these Elite 8 matchups. Be sure to check sportlespace.com for all the updates.